The opening day at home for fans of a baseball team, and in particular for this opening day for Oriole fans, because their ball club's the only team in the majors that has won the first 3 games of the season on the road. Today, they're home. It's the Orioles on Masson, and what a glorious day weather-wise and for the Orioles coming home to take on the Detroit Tigers and all of the excitement of opening day taking place, and we will have that for you as well as the ball game. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and this is a crowd that's genuinely excited. Yeah, it's only 3 games, but look, it's 3 games they've put in the W column, and you can't take those away. And what a series they had. They played old-time baseball against the Rays. Their starting pitching was unbelievable, with Guthrie, Tillman, and Chris Britton putting up those numbers virtually unhittable. Brian Roberts, top of the order, 4 for 13, 5 RBIs, and a home run, and the bullpen got it done with the 7 innings they had to pitch. Mike Flanagan, it was a tremendous start.
Yeah, they played pretty much the perfect series down in Tampa Bay, and so they pitched extremely well. The starting pitching was nothing short of outstanding. They had timely hitting, a lot of production out of the bottom of the order, which really helps and bodes well for the future. And defensively, they made 1 error in the series, but they prevented a lot of runs in that series.
And Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And as we said, it is a glorious weather day for this opener here in Birdland. And our game time temperature is brought to you by Train. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. Hard to believe, as cool as it has been of late around the Baltimore area. Not today. We're going to have temperatures that are going to get up towards the 80s. Let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest. It'll be Jackson, Rhymes, and Ordonez, Cabrera, Martinez, and Bosch, Peralta, Avila, and Inge. You see Cabrera with enormous numbers against the Orioles.
Well, today's scouting report is brought to you by APSIA. Visit APSIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. And for Jake Arrieta to continue the run. The starters have allowed one run in the first 20 innings of work, so he wants to continue that. More strikes. Last year, Arrieta walked 48 and struck out 52. He wants to improve on that ratio, and he will be able to do that by throwing more strikes and establish his secondary pitches, which actually Chris Tillman did so well, and also Jeremy Guthrie in start number 1 to establish that curveball and slider.
And again, we all know, I mean, he's coming off a kind of a spotty spring, whereas you might mention, Mike, he was so good with his breaking ball. In fact, we talked on the phone and watching the next game, he couldn't get it over. So again, we hope he's not going to be the Forrest Gump of Oriole pitchers, where you just don't know what you're going to get. But again, stuff-wise, he rates right up there, probably a little bit better than everybody. But again, it's just a matter of, well, you don't want to squeeze the ball, but it is the perfect day. You talked about the temperature and the weather, Gary. A lot of times you have to make a transition of a ball that's very slick, but that's not the case. This is just like spring training, so it's a continuation.
And if he gets the help that the other starters have had from their defense, he'll get a lot of help because the defense has been outstanding.
It has. He's only made that one error so far. Felix P.A. will be in left. Adam Jones will man center field. Nick Markakis will play right. Reynolds and Hardy on the left side. Roberts and Lee on the right. Matt Wieters will be behind the plate.
Ready to go. The fans anticipating that first pitch to come from the 25-year-old right-hander, Jake Arrieta. And you know he's ready to go. He came back a day early in order to get here and be rested.
Yeah, one of the baby birds, Jerry Walker, back in the early 60s.
And the first pitch will be taken down low for a ball. And we are underway. Here's the delivery to Jackson, and that's going to be a strike. Austin Jackson, their center fielder, in that leadoff spot. Real good speed for him. Jackson, one of those guys you want to keep off base, as he's the one that can generate some problems if he gets on. Good pitch down and away to him.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't care who you are. Even Miguel Cabrera had trouble with that slider. But you know, Jackson last year, first year in the big leagues, 181 base hits. Can go get him in center and can steal bases.
And that's going to be away, and the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jackson.
Like I say, Jackson's prone to the strikeout. 170 strikeouts. So hit 291 with 170 strikeouts. You're doing something.
Jackson, a couple of hits, 11 at-bats against the Yankees. He is gone just the way Arrieta would like to start it. A strikeout.
That's going to be the thing for Jake Arrieta. Appears to be under control early in this one. Nice, smooth delivery. Nice, easy, 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, the last time we saw that, at least that I can remember, is his major league debut against the Yankees. He was throwing 95, 96 early in the ballgame.
And our pitch strike brought to you by Papa John's. Order online at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Will Rhymes, who is playing at second base. And Rhymes will take that one for a strike. Rhymes did not have a hit against the Yankees in their 3-game set. He went 0 for 7. Detroit, of course, coming off a 1-2 series against the Yankees that was filled with offense. They had exactly the opposite kind of a series than did the Orioles against Tampa Bay, as the Yankees and Tigers, they went at it, scoring 19 runs for the Tigers and 23 for the Yankees, and a combined 14 home runs in that series, while the Orioles and Rays, neither team had as many combined, had the number of runs that even one of the teams had in that series. So these teams are coming off exactly the opposite kinds of starts.
Yeah, 4 home runs for the Tigers, 4 for the Yankees. They hit 9 in those 3 games. That's the most they've ever hit in the history of the Yankees, which is hard to believe. All those great teams they've had.
Rhymes, and he takes it, and that doesn't miss by much.
I was talking to Will Rhymes. He said, I learned about Yankee Stadium. He said, it seemed that they got all the questionable pitches. They were called balls, and balls 2, 3, 4 inches off the outside corner kind of went the Yankee way. And I said, well, welcome to the American League East. Welcome to playing against the Yankees.
Be not surprised.
Nope. He said, I guess I know I'm a rookie. But he said, that kind of really got my attention.
He's learning then. A 2-ball, 2-strike count on Rhymes with Ordonez waiting on deck. Arrieta with a 2-2 delivery to him. That's going to be up high. Count will go full 3-2. Arrieta last year in 100 innings pitched walked 48, struck out 52. Just about equal on that one. He gave up about a hit per inning with an ERA at 4.66 on the year. 3-2 delivery. Rhymes will take it, and he is on with a walk.
Yeah, I think part of the maturation process is when you look on deck and you see Ordonez, lifetime 300 hitter, the guy that led the American League in RBIs behind him. That 2-2 pitch is very important. So when he misses with that, then he starts aiming the ball, and all of a sudden you got a table setter.
Saw Jimmy Leland over there in his 6th year with the Tigers. Ball club that was 500 last year, literally 81 and 81. They had exact opposite records: 52 and 29 at home, 29 and 52 on the road. And here's a man who has done some great damage to the Orioles. Ordonez will stand in. You take a look at these starting pitchers. Unbelievable numbers put up by Guthrie, Tillman, and Britton. Virtually unhittable for those starters. And they hope, of course, that the starters will feed off one another, and Arrieta will be able to follow. Breaking ball that misses way up high, and Wieters is going to go out and have a word here with Arrieta.
Well, I'm sure this is what it's going to be about. Matt Wieters making a quick trip out. The thing with Arrieta is not that he's an overly emotional pitcher, but he really gets charged up when it's his turn to pitch, wants to do extremely well, and sometimes you just have to back off a click from 100%. Try to throw maybe around 90-95%. He has to guard him going the other way of overthrowing.
Your classic statement, try easier.
Try easier.
And it's hard for young pitchers, and that's why we always talk about innings, experience, getting out there and learning on the mound.
Rhymes off first base. And that will be put in the air foul. Talked about Ordonez's numbers against the Orioles. They are phenomenal. Overall, he's a .318 lifetime hitter in this ballpark. He has hit .341 with 6 home runs against the Orioles at Camden Yards. So a very dangerous hitter. And then you've got Cabrera, one of the game's best offensive players, following him in the lineup. 2-ball, 1-strike delivery. Arrieta got it in and jammed him, fouled away.
Well, I think it's so important when you face a lineup that has a guy like Miguel Cabrera is that we all know how good he is. They know, we know, fans know. He did lead the league in RBIs. You don't want to pitch to him on their terms. In other words, try to keep the guys off in front of him. And that's why the Will Rhymes walk is so key to this inning.
Rhymes has gotten a pretty good lead over there, but he hasn't tried to go anywhere. There he goes. Pitches outside. Wieters a gun throw. Almost. Boy, Wieters got rid of that one on a tough pitch to have to make a throw on. It'll be a stolen base.
Yeah, I imagine up and away would be a little bit easier, but he has to reach. Of course, Rhymes with 22 steals last year at the minor league level. He gets a big jump. Watch this release. And on the money. Well, he can't make a better throw.
That was a great throw. Now a runner in scoring position and a full count on Ordonez. And he again will foul that one away. It is the second stolen base for the Tigers on the year, and the first one for Rhymes. Detroit trying to get their offense going, which last year was the big part of their club. They were 4th in average, but only 8th in runs. The pitching staff was 12th in ERA for the Tigers' 500 effort. Here's the 3-2 again. This one to short will hold the runner. J.J. Hardy will look him back and get him. No small out right there. 2 down. And here comes one of the game's best. Miguel Cabrera coming to the plate. He is, if he continues the pace he has set in his career so far, going to be one of the game's all-time great offensive players. He is just dangerous. Long ball, extra base hits. RBIs. I mean, this is one of the game's good ones.
And the reason, I guess, at least from my standpoint, he just uses the whole field. He can hit any pitch you throw.
Well, I think he's usually doesn't get a lot of pitches to hit.
He'll foul that one off. He's gone 5 for 11 to start the year.
Yeah, he always has been Mr. April. Just outstanding numbers. 331 average with a 41 doubles, 39 home runs, 133 RBIs in 163 April games. That's about as good as you're going to get.
Yeah, they walked him intentionally 32 times last year. It tells you, of course, Victor Martinez in the on-deck circle will change that a little bit.
That's why they acquired Martinez, for a little protection and more power. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and Arrieta will gain his attention. Cabrera's got a couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. Cabrera backed off on that one and is taking an extra moment out. That was up
and in under the chin. Little chin music, as they used to call it. Now it's charge the mound music.
Exactly. 1 ball, 1 strike count on him. Runner at second. Rhymes 2 down, and worked him back outside and missed. And the count will go to 2-1 on Cabrera. And you see the Tigers doing something. Talking with some of the Tigers before the game, they said, you guys have really, talking about starters, really worked in a hurry. We're going to have to step out in this ball game if Arrieta's going to do that. And you're already seeing that, trying to slow down the rhythm. That's going to miss outside. 3-1.
Yeah, normally you'd get that pitch. But when you're all over the place, and that's where Jake has been, really to everybody, all of a sudden that borderline pitch is going to be a ball more often than it is a strike.
Cabrera 322 with runners in scoring position last year, number 1 of his big numbers. He's got one out there right now with 2 down. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and Cabrera will foul that one back.
Well, not only you talked about that's how you lead the American League in RBIs, get the opportunities and then hit well over 320, but for his career he's at 319. So talk about consistency.
Yeah, he's the full deal.
Oh, a couple of 2-run shots yesterday in Yankee Stadium.
Oriole fans into it. 3-2 count. Cabrera waiting on it, and he got him. Yards. Let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll look like this: Roberts, Markakis, Lee, Guerrero, Wieters, Jones, Reynolds, PA, and Hardy. Reynolds yesterday with a 2 for 4, a couple of ribbies and 2 doubles.
Let's take a look at today's scouting report brought to you by AFCIA. Visit AFCIA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Rick Porcello, only 22, out of Chester, New Jersey. And again, Baby Tiger, only 22. He's already won 24 games in the big leagues. He's sinker, probably his best pitch, even though he can throw in the mid-90s. And then critical mass, because they need, as Jim Leland said, they need somebody to step up as their number 3 starter. He did it 2 years ago. Last year struggled backing down in the minor leagues, but certainly capable of giving you quality starts.
They need him to be good, and it has been a roller coaster ride for him so far. Finished with that 10-12 mark last year. He has been the Jack Spratt of the Tigers staff. When he's bad, he's been very bad, but when he's been good, he's been awesome.
Yeah, that's not about stuff.
And the pitch is a strike taken by Brian Roberts. Brian has been successful getting a hit in the first 3 games, and far more than that for Brian. 4 for 13. He's got 5 RBIs. Hitting the home run from the other side of the plate, and that one's going to go to left. It'll stay up long enough, and Bosch is there to put it away. And 1 down. Nick Markakis, typical beginning, as it usually is in the middle and end. Big numbers. 3 for 10, 2 RBIs, the game-saving catch on Saturday to end it and give the Orioles a chance to celebrate again.
He had a great spring training and really picked it up right on through St. Petersburg and the Rays.
Nick has had 3 hits in 10 at-bats, a couple of RBIs. He has gone 2 for 6 with a home run lifetime off Porcello, the starter for the Tigers today.
He has a 9-game hitting streak against these Tigers, hitting .378, 3 homers and 6 RBIs.
Nick last year against Detroit hit .350. Hit 3 home runs against the Tigers, the most against any opponent for Markakis, and 6 RBIs against Detroit. He will take the pitch outside, and Porcello will fall behind on it, 2-1. Ball was flying in batting practice today, according to Jim Presley, the hitting coach for the Orioles. This warm weather at 76, 77 to start it. And that's going to go off the glove of Peralta for a base hit. Jackson will get it in, and Markakis is on.
Take a look at the Tiger defense. Bosch, who made the nice play. Jackson really go get him. Ordonez coming off right ankle surgery. That's your outfield. Hinge, one of the better fielding percentage for third basemen in the American League. Peralta, Rhymes, Cabrera, he can hit, and Avila, who's a catch and throw guy, threw out 30% of the base stealers that attempted it last year.
There is Jim Presley. There was a big wind, like 25, 30 miles an hour outside the ballpark today, but in the ballpark you could hardly feel it. That ball in the air to center field, up the bat, a lead is back and caught by Jackson. Markakis was already down to second base. He'll come back as Derek Lee gave it a ride. Jackson playing deep, needed to be there.
Well, so far against Porcello, who has all the ground balls, been able to lift him so far. You can see Jackson covers a lot of ground in center field. The ball appeared to die a little bit. You see him catching it down around waist high.
So now with a runner on at first base and 2 away, here's Vladdy in his first chance in an Oriole uniform at home. The Orioles designated hitter, who has always hit well in this park and has always hit well against the Tigers. That one is in the air to center, not as deep. Jackson's got it lined up, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Opening day, Oriole Park at Camden Yards. today for the Luna Double. Get your second room of flooring free. 877-2401-LUNA. American League double leaders. Last year, Beltray on top. Longoria is injured. Delman Young, then Nick Markakis with 45, along with Butler and the Tigers' Miguel Cabrera. Wow, what a day. Splashed in short sleeve shirts, sunshine. It is just gorgeous here at Camden Yards. The wind is picking up, and it is blowing out the center. We just got done talking about it.
It just seemed like we showed the flag a half an inning ago when they were draped straight down.
Yeah. Here's Victor Martinez. He is the designated hitter, also slated to do a lot of catching for the ball club this season. Martinez with a good power bat. Arrieta with the pitch. Off-speed delivery is in there for a strike. Switch hitter. Martinez 3 for 13 against the Yankees with a home run and a couple of RBIs in the opening series.
Yeah, he was one of the few Tigers that didn't get on the board yesterday when they scored 10 runs. But he did catch yesterday.
And the breaking ball, and a good one, is in there for a strike. Going to see a few more of those curveballs.
Yeah, you'd like to see Jake a little more efficient. What, 24 pitches the first inning? So if you're going to hang around like the other starters did, and there's that hook right off the table.
Well, I'm sure that's what Mark Corner told him between innings. Look, we just can't keep up and go pump the fastball. We have to establish the off-speed pitches.
He'll come inside with that 1-2. He's made one start against the Tigers. It was in Detroit. Allowed only one run over 6 1/3 innings in that ball game. Arrieta non-decision. He is 2-3 here in this ballpark at Camden Yards in 9 starts. That one in the air, not deep. PA coming, gets there. Whoa! Did I see a snow cone?
Yes, we did. Well, you know, they were shifted around. He was deep in left center field. Adam Jones was a couple of steps to left field. Markakis straight away, so he had a long run. And when you start bouncing on a bright day, yep, right there, a lot of white.
I think it ends up in his bare hand, doesn't it, before it's all over?
Well, he can cover some ground. Sometimes he's as surprised as we are when he catches it. You can tell the look. I mean, really, it's like, I got that ball. And nice play, though.
I think defense is contagious, too. Even on plays like that, they're getting them made. This is going to go to center. And just as we saw in the opening series, because the Oriole pitchers are throwing strikes, the hitters are coming up swinging. The Maryland Lottery's double play contestant of the game is Shirley Stevens from Frederick. For every double play the Orioles turn during today's game, Shirley's going to win $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. See how you can turn double plays into cash and enter to win for a chance at amazing O's prizes. Just go to mdlottery.com/double play. 2 down, nobody on. Second inning. Here's Johnny Peralta. Peralta will take it. He's had a good start. 4 for 11 for Peralta. All of the base hits have been singles. 1 RBI for Detroit. And there's a good breaking ball in for a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, you know he's sitting on a fastball, and he just comes back with a slider. As you mentioned, Flanny, boy, once you establish you'll throw any of your pitches at any time. Makes it tough to hit.
There's the fastball to short. J.J. Hardy. He's got it, and that's that. Jim wanted more efficiency. That's exactly what he got. A 1-2-3 second inning. No score.
Maybe he's looking a little bit for the slider pitch that he had missed for ball one, but he can get it into the mid-90s when he throws that four-seamer. He just prefers the two-seamer that takes a little velocity off.
1 ball, 2 strike count. 22-year-old right-hander delivers. Jones takes it in the air to right field, driving Ordonez back, warning track wall, and he's got it. Nice catch. Waiters will tag up, and he will get into third base. Good play by Ordonez, playing out there with a bad right ankle. He got that one just off that fence.
Yeah, Maglio had to leave the game on Saturday. Didn't play yesterday. This ball looked like it may go over his head for a double. Wieters doesn't initially tag up. He waits a little bit, and then he goes back, and right here, and the ball gets over the first cutoff man, and he's easily into third.
It's tough to get the Queen Mary turned around.
Well, it really is.
That's good heads-up base running. I mean,
it is.
He made the right choice, even though he's not speedy. He realized the ball was going to be difficult for Ordonez to get back into the infield, so he took advantage of it. And now you got a runner at third base. Only one away, and Reynolds up in the infield halfway in. All the way in at first with Cabrera. The others, Rhymes, Peralta, and Inge, moved in on the pitch.
Well, probably a combination of two things. Arrieta's got good stuff, and this guy can sink the ball. So you're looking for a grounder if you're Jim Leyland.
Reynolds will foul that one straight back. He's just trying to push one through anywhere now to get an RBI. Reynolds 2 for 2 with runners in scoring position in the first series for the Orioles. He's got a chance to go 3 for 3 and give the Orioles a lead here.
Yeah, also 2 for 2 lifetime with a homer against Porcello.
Orioles split the series with the Tigers last year, 5-5 against this Detroit team. All of the games were close. A couple of them decided by 4-run differences, and the others less than 4 runs. Wanted to go, but stays away. They check at first base, and no, Jim Joyce down there.
Well, Jim Presley, the hitting instructor, already thinks that Mark Reynolds has made a better job with 2 strikes of looking away, and, reacting to the ball in and making more contact, and we'll see if he's able to do that here.
1-2 deliveries outside. Oriole hitters have also shown pretty good patience in the first 4 games. Even the guys who tend to take a lot of cuts at pitches out of the strike zone have worked the count a bit, as that pitch there was one that Reynolds might have chased in other years. 2-2 delivery and a big cut, and he got him. Porcello gets his first strikeout, and that's a big one.
Well, there's the 4-seam fastball. All of a sudden 3-4 miles per hour faster, and he throws it right by him. Certainly doesn't make a great pitch. It's in the middle of the plate. He just swings through it.
Reynolds retired. Now a 2-out RBI needed, and Felix Pie. Luke Scott not playing again with that groin problem. He is not on the DL day to day. So Pie is getting the starts in left field. Runner at third, and he throttles way back on him there. He gets the swinging strike. Down to 81 miles an hour in that pitch.
And most people think that's his best off-speed pitch, the changeup.
Well, I think it goes back and shows they have an advanced scout too. First ball fastball hitter, start off with a changeup.
They will put that one foul. 1 for 5 in the series against the Rays for PA.
And of course, you saw there, once you throw it 81, 92 looks a lot quicker. And he's way late on it. And he's got a good changeup. Mike, you were talking about it. The fact that Shields has such a great one with great arm speed, great deception.
0-2 delivery to him, gets away. Wieters is coming and will score. And the Orioles take a 1-0 lead.
Well, Avia's in there for his defense. Had a couple of balls that maybe he could have caught up in Yankee Stadium. This one in the dirt. And Wieters will make him hurt right there. You can see Felix Pie waving him in.
Yeah, it's kind of a heartbreaker with 2 outs. You've worked hard to get to this situation, and to throw that breaking ball and have it just get away.
It is a wild pitch charge to Porcello. Pie will loft it in the air to right field. Ordonez started in, backs up, and will put it away. So a little baseball played here as Wieters tagged up, went to third, and then scores on a wild pitch. 1-0 O's. to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Gary Thorne, Mike Flanagan, Jim Palmer. Great to have you with us for opening day here at Camden Yards. Orioles again on top. As we mentioned, they have not trailed in the 4 games so far played. And for the Orioles, it's only the second time ever that they have opened a season with 3 games and not trailed in any of them. Last time was 1967. Arrieta gets the advantage in this one. By the way, Mike was pointing out between innings, that Tigers wild pitch is already the 6th wild pitch that their staff has been charged with, and this the 4th game of the season. And they've committed 4 errors.
Well, I was watching while you guys were working down in Tampa. I was watching some of the Yankee games, and the balls got by him that were questionable. The balls you encourage if you're a catcher. Hey, throw that breaking ball, throw that fastball. Don't worry about it because I'll block it, and that's why he's catching. So it's got to be a little disappointing for Jim Leland that he hasn't caught a little bit better.
Avila batting in the number 8 spot. Inge and then Jackson at the top of the order to follow. 1 for 7 in the hit department. Pitch is going to be taken up high. The reason the Orioles have been able to stay ahead and win those first 3 games is that they're just not giving up any runs. You got to go back to the 1908 Browns in franchise history for the first 3 games with that fewer run total put up against them. Falling behind here, 3-1. Arrieta. But Showalter quietly watching for the moment. He'll start pacing about the 7th inning. That's when he gets his walking in for the day. 3-1 pitch came back at him, 3-2.
Yeah, he was all revved up this morning. I was in his office very early in the day. He was already working his way through the lineup and defense and the office and what they're going to do tomorrow, what times to work out. I mean, he was really juggling. He had a lot of balls in the air certainly this morning.
5 o'clock balls.
He loves every minute of it. Can't get enough. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Avila waiting on it, and he'll take that to short. Played by Harvey. 1 away, 3rd inning. Good seats still remain for the final 2 games in this series against the Tigers. Celebrate the first night game of the season Wednesday. Birds Tigers will wrap up on Thursday. Both games 7:05. Get your tickets in advance and save at 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Talking about Arrieta and walks, only one of the starts that he made last year did he not walk a batter, but it was in the last 3 starts that he put up some outstanding numbers. Last 3 he had no walks, 1 walk, and 1 walk against Boston, New York, and Toronto.
And those, Toronto led the world in home runs, and the other 2 teams are up there with on-base percentage. That's what they do so well.
Brandon Inge is behind on the count quickly, 0-2.
Well, 6 pitches to Avila. He didn't want to do that. So, again, if you're going to hang around, throw some strikes.
And he'll miss up high with that. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Plenty. How long did it take you? I think I learned in A-ball that when you come up, even when you have great stuff, that your job is not to strike everybody out.
Well, I think you may have learned that in A-ball. It may have taken me a little longer.
Well, I just had Cal Ripken Sr. telling me that, and you're not going to strike everybody out. You don't have to make perfect pitches. You pitch to your defense, and that's a way of maybe being a little bit more expedient and a little bit.
Down to 3rd. That's going to be a base hit. Inge will make the turn. PA over to get it. And into second base with a stand-up double, and the first hit for the Tigers. Inge here in the 3rd with 1 away.
Let's take a look at his last pitch from Jake Arrieta. It's a slider that stays towards the middle of the plate, just out of the reach of Reynolds at 3rd. Down that 3rd base line. One thing Buck Showalter doesn't believe, and he really doesn't like his infielders, and that'd be 3rd base and 1st base to pinch to the line. He thinks what you end up doing is covering for foul territory. So one thing you will see with this Oriole defense, you see Derek Lee, how far off 1st base he is.
Here's action. Austin Jackson. Leadoff batter will take the pitch outside for a ball. A strikeout victim, his first time up. Inge has his 2nd double. He's on with 1 down. Jackson, a tremendous season last year. One of the Really great rookies. Good stop by Wieters. Jackson led rookies. 103 runs scored, 181 hits, 48 extra bases, 34 doubles, and 27 stolen bases. All those numbers were #1 for rookies in the American League. Jackson, a couple of hits, 12 at bats so far this year. 2-0 pitch to him, launched in the air to center, not deep. May have fooled Jones. It did. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Adams started back and towards right field on that, and the ball off the end of the bat's a single.
Yeah, got fooled by the big swing, and even good outfielders to do that. Watch this. You can see it right here. He goes back, that drop step, and that's the difference between catching and not. Pretty good pitch off the end of the bat.
So now Arrieta will be looking for the ground ball to try and get a double play with runners at first and third and only one down, and Will Rhymes coming to the plate. Rhymes still looking for his first hit of the season. Rhymes only got a couple of bats in the 7 at bats in, went 0 for 7 against the Yankees and drew a walk in his first up in this game.
And they played him very shallow up in New York, and that's what the Orioles are going to do to the opposite field, in center field and left. But he's a speedster, so tough to double up. And also you have speed at first.
He'll ground it hard into left field for a base hit. Punched it through, an RBI single for Rhymes as Inge will score, and the Tigers come right back and tie it up at 1.
Well, Avila lined out to start the inning, and after that a double and a couple of singles, clean single from Will Rhymes. Walked his first time. Now you're into the heart of the order.
Yeah, 3 batters, all balls up in the zone, and the Tigers taking advantage of it.
2 RBIs on the season for Rhymes, and that will be hit number 3 for the Tigers, all coming in this inning. The double and 2 singles. Now Ordonez with 2 on and 1 away. Ordonez grounded out first time up, 3 for 9. His lifetime number off Jake Arrieta. Arrieta gets it in on the big cut. Didn't know whether or not, the Tigers didn't, whether Ordonez would be in the ball game. Jim said he missed yesterday's game. The ankle that bothered him last year and put him on the DL. Had a little problem with it. Just a soreness. And probably not 100% in this game, but they want that bat in the lineup. 0-1 delivery to him, check swing.
Well, they need him to be healthy, because not only can he play, but he can also help you in the locker room. You know, if you get Victor Martinez, everybody up in, in Cleveland, especially in Boston last year, said that he's a very vocal guy. Again, as you mentioned, I don't know how much catching he'll do him, but Ordonez and Martinez can handle this clubhouse very well. And then, of course, they're terrific players.
Little look back to second base. Jackson with great speed. Roberts will now move even tighter to the bag to try and hold him close. 2-strike count on Ordonez. And he'll take that one down to third. Up with it, bobbled. Reynolds got to go to first. D. Lee makes the play. A big play at first base. They had a chance to get 2, fortunate to get 1, and it was Lee's play at first that allowed that.
You can see this ball game jams Ordonez, has a little bit of a funny spin on it. Reynolds can't handle it cleanly the first time. And just watch the hands of Derkley. Watch how low he will get. And watch on this stroke, right down on his knees. Terrific play by Lee. Let that ball really get into him and use his hands.
Now there are 2 down and 2 in scoring position for Cabrera. Jake Arrieta is going to get tested right here. Here's a big moment in the ball game early. Tigers with a run in here in the third. And Cabrera gets foul tipped into the mitt.
Yeah, a little 2-seamer at 94. Struck him out on a high fastball. He got to see 6 pitches the first time up.
100 or more RBIs 7 years in a row for Miguel Cabrera. Arrieta in the full windup, the 0-2 delivery. Popped him up. Lee coming over, and that will be in the seats.
Gary, he's so good that about 4 or 5 years ago here at Camden Yards, they tried to intentionally walk him. He poked it into center field for a base hit.
That hurts you, doesn't it? It makes you feel real bad.
One of those little league plays.
Yeah. Cabrera's gone 3 for 7 in his times against Arrieta. Struck out in this game. 0-2 delivery. In the air, left field. PA was swung around, perfectly positioned. 1 run in, 3 hits, no errors. 2 are left in scoring position. Ball game tied. And the shortstop, J.J. Hardy, has been all over the game. 2 for 8, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 3 runs, and some fine defensive play. And out of that 9-hole, when you can put up those kind of numbers, if you get a season like that, that's a lot of umph.
Yeah, you seem to be in the middle of all the action in Tampa.
Porcello, awkward finish on that last one, almost tripped. And a 2-strike count on Hardy.
He's not swinging like a 9th place hitter.
No.
Who associated a 9th place hitter?
Hey, the more I see him, the more he reminds me of Jim Fregosi. Maybe not quite as big as Jim was when he played. There's a backup breaking ball that he swings through it.
2 strikeouts for Porcello in the game.
Little frisbee right here. You want to get on top of it. He is 6'5". It just spins. JJ thinks it's coming down closer to the zone and swings right through it.
Yeah, if you could bottle that as a pitcher, you'd make an awful lot of money throwing a backup slider. It's just hard to tame that pitch.
So the first out recorded, and top of the order, Brian Roberts, who flied out left field first time up. Porcello's making 2 consecutive starts here at Camden Yards. Look out. The whirlybird. Fans saw that one coming, and I think we're able to get out of the way. And Brian making sure everybody's all right. Said he wants that bat back, and we'll give you another one. So the fans will hand it over, and in return get another one back. Early on in our bat throwing contest, distance wise,
early on,
he's about 4.
Yeah, it's early on.
It's early on though. 1 strikeout. Markakis will follow. Saying Porcello started his last game last year in this ballpark and took the loss against the Orioles. 2 runs, 6 1/3 innings. He comes back and makes his first start of this year here at Camden Yards, and they are the only 2 times he's pitched here. Roberts will take it in the air to left field. Bosch going back. He's got it. So 2 fly balls to left for Brian Roberts.
Well, he's used to trying the right guy. Bosch is 4 for 4. What a sacrifice fly, 4 RBIs. He's better known for his bat. Run him around enough. Maybe one will fall in there.
Yeah, last year had 10 errors in the outfield. Not the slickest of fielders.
Rayburn is supposed to be the starting left fielder, but Bosch has started 2 of the games out there, and that's why they've got some issues about how early on this lineup's going to look. Here's Nick Markakis. Nick with a single his first time up. He's now 3 for 7 lifetime with a home run off the 22-year-old right-hander of the Tigers. Porcello's got 2 down and nobody on. They play Nick in the outfield a bit towards left. Big gap in right center field and down the right field line. There's a hole right there, and there's another hole right there over to the line. Way up high. Porcello unhappy. That one just got away from him, and the count goes to 2-1. Porcello's lifetime number against the Orioles, 1 win and 1 loss. The 0-1 number was what he put up last year against the O's. 2-1 Markakis. He's got a base hit. And Nick is 2 for 2.
Yeah, the more I see of him, I get a little nervous because it reminds me of George Brett, the Hall of Famer. I mean, he can just go down and get him. Of course, Brett was a terrific third baseman. Probably looking at one of the most underrated players in the American League.
Gold Glover in right field.
Yeah, he really is. And of course, the more the Orioles win, the more notice he's going to get.
He's got a 10-game hit streak now against the Tigers that he kept going in his first time up. Here's Derek Lee. Hit it hard to center in his first at bat. He will take that one for a strike. On first base, Markakis, not a big lead. Cabrera will hold him over there. 2 down. Lee on a check swing takes it away. Some new Orioles who of course have played some games here at Camden Yards before. There are the numbers for the players in this ballpark. Big numbers for Guerrero. Lee solid. Reynolds not many chances, and Hardy not many chances, but some pretty good numbers there for the new Orioles here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Into the kitchen with that one and missed. 2 ball, 1 strikeout.
With his 2-seam fastball, some of the Detroit people were telling us that Porcello has struggled a little bit with his release point, whether he's going to be up on top or out a little bit 3/4.
Right out of high school, 22-year-old now. Swung on and foul tipped at the plate.
Yeah, from A ball to the big leagues, and then you win 14 games. He was, I mean, he reminded me, at least the way he had the action. Maybe not as good at breaking balls Mark Fidrich 2 years ago.
That's the thing. He really has gotten away from the big curveball,
Yep.
which really was his signature pitch when he signed.
Well, we know it's a tough pitch to throw over, but again, it was something he did so well.
Well, didn't you go from A ball to the big leagues?
Yes. But I didn't start and win 14 games like he did. I was kind of a spot starter, bullpen guy.
2-2 delivery, shattered bat, center field. Jackson not going to get it. On his way to third, Markakis, and Lee gets the single.
Talk about kitchen, Gary. That was all over his fist. Porcello's going, what do I need to do? I mean, he jams and bat implodes at home plate all over the place. And Derek Lee says, thank you.
I think it was a nice base running by Markakis. Good read. I'm sure he heard that bat snap, but still be able to read the flight of the ball. Wasn't that far away from Will Rhymes at second base.
So the Orioles get a chance to get the lead back. Ball game tied at 1. Here's Vladimir Guerrero flied out to center field. His first time up. First and third, there are 2 down. And the pitch will miss down low for a ball.
He took a pitch.
Hallelujah.
We actually saw him take a strike.
Yeah, he took a strike.
Oh, he must have had some in his eye.
Clearly had called timeout and thought the pitch didn't count. Vladdy had 320 runners in scoring position last year with the Rangers. Big cut on a pitch inside that's fouled away. Thought a real good story in the Baltimore Sun today on Vladimir Guerrero. Thought it was right on the money. Vladdy's not one to He's always smiling, always happy, always very genuine to be around. But he keeps most of life to himself when he's around the ballpark. Very nice, but he's not one to be outgoing about things going on, especially regarding his own personal life off the field. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and reached for it and popped it back. Avila's back near the screen, and he's got it. No runs on a couple of hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. We've completed 3 of the home opener here in Baltimore. Home opener, and Buck Showalter got a great hand when he was introduced. All the ball players, of course, coming in from center field. The flyover, Earl Weaver. First pitch, Buck Showalter on the receiving end. Lineup cards brought out by the skipper for the opening game, and a 1-1 affair at the end of 3. The Orioles opened in '54 at a renovated Municipal Stadium. They'd been on the road against the Tigers that year, where they had split a couple of games and then took the train back to Baltimore. They would beat the White Sox by a score of 3-1 in that first game in 1954. Bob Turley would be the winning pitcher in the ball game for the Orioles. Here's Victor Martinez. Martinez flied out to left field his first time up. Arrieta with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Porcello's no walks, 2 strikeouts. Orioles won 4-0. The Tigers won 3-0. Weeder scored on a wild pitch in the 2nd inning. The RBI picked up by Will Rhymes in the 3rd inning to tie it up for the Tigers. Off the fist, shortstop back, Hardy. PA Cumming will call him off, and he's got it. 1 down. All season, the Orioles schedule is packed with fun giveaways and special events you won't want to miss. Mark your calendars. 2 big bobblehead nights. Buck Showalter bobblehead night presented by AT&T, June 25. Then it'll be Brian Mattis's bobblehead night on August 6th. For a full list of promotions, 888-848-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com. Anxious to see the Buck Showalter bobblehead. Grounded towards second base, played by Roberts. Brennan Bosch is retired. Quick, 2 outs.
Yeah, two pitches to Bosch and 2 at bats. The hitter that came in hitting .625, not showing a whole lot of patience.
Well, he was talking about that, He said, that great first half, 12 home runs. He said, I finally started getting myself out. But again, I got to think Arrieta, if you look at and you prepare, 4 for 4, a home run. Great spring, had a couple home runs the last week. He's not afraid to throw strikes because his stuff is that good.
And they're going after it. That is tagged into the corner. PA won't catch this. Johnny Peralta on his way to second base. Here's the throw, not in time. And Peralta's in with the double. Second double of the ball game and 4th hit for Detroit.
Yeah, Peralta's really been swinging against the right-handed pitching so far in this young season. 5 for 11 now. Peralta, one of those players they signed back at the end of last season. They liked him so much after coming over from the Indians.
Yeah, guy also, he had a couple of years in the mid-20s, just like J.J. Hardy of the Orioles at shortstop with some power.
Now Brandon Inge, who had a double and scored in the third inning. Inge hitting in the number 9 spot. Two pretty good number 9 hitters in this ball game. Or Avila, sorry. That'll be fouled away. Inge waiting on deck. With 2 down and a runner at second base. Outfield will give him the gap in right center, and again playing a left-handed hitter to go the other way more than to pull the ball. Markakis has moved well over, so the whole right field line is open. Avila lined out to short his first time up. Peralta at second, not being held. He's got a good lead, and the pitch will miss inside. 1-1. Each team with 4 hits in the ball game, and each has left 3 on base so far. Here's the 1-1 delivery in the dirt. Wieters again with a nice stop.
Yeah, Buck Scholler is speaking glowingly of Wieters' defense. Takes a lot of energy expended. Walk those balls in the dirt. See him taking a little time between pitches.
Pace for Arrieta is slowed down with the base runner on here. The 2-1 delivery, and that's going to miss outside. A 3-ball, 1-strike count. Up to 62 pitches thrown in the ball game, and we are in the 4th inning. Potential go-ahead run on at second base. A good lead. Again, the 3-1, and that's going to be outside. Well, Arrieta with a walk after he got the first 2 outs, a double and a walk, and put 2 Tigers on.
They had outs, it seemed like, after about 3 pitches.
2 on, 2 down for Inge. Wieters halfway out, setting up the defensive call here.
Well, another very aggressive hitter doubled his last time up on a slider. Took one early in the count, then got one to hit it right down the left field line. So Oriole bench coach Willie Randolph, one of those notorious guys, and you knew he was going to swing, but if he made a good pitch, you liked it. If he made a bad one, he's probably going to end up at second base. Inge is that type of hitter.
Goes after the first pitch. Hardy charging, going to get a first, and he got it. Arrieta finds a way out. Orioles lost one of their most beloved family members, Ernie Tyler, 51 years with the ball club, being honored here on opening day, and we miss him. Recognition of Ernie. The umpire's room is named after him because he was the umpire's attendant room man. He started out as a part-time usher, then became a full-time usher at Memorial, and then 58 moved up from usher to working with umpires, and the umpires loved him, and they're wearing a wristband in his honor with his initials on it.
Yeah, we've been graced by the entire, well, not the entire Tyler family, but a lot of them. Jimmy Tyler's been here 50 years. Oriole clubhouse guy, his brother. Freddie since 1984, but I tell you what, it will never be the same because Rick Dempsey was alluding to how a lot of the people in the Oriole organization become part of your family. Ernie was one of those guys.
There's no question about it.
What a smile.
Just a big hole downstairs today when you walked in. And
you kept. I looked for him.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking, and I certainly know he passed away, but that's what coming to Memorial Stadium or Camden Yards was about.
Matt Wieters leading it off here. Will foul that one back. 1-1 ball game. Bottom of the fourth inning. Wieters, Jones, and Reynolds.
Then you have the umpires, and one of the teams is probably not going to like them, and Ernie was always there. Yeah, with a smile on his face, kind of juggling.
Yeah, I always used to like it how we'd have the eye chart in the umpire's room, and then kind of walk into it and imitating an umpire.
And they loved him. And he took such great pride. He was the guy that rubbed up the baseballs with all that mud.
He took such great pride in that. He would actually keep track of if a pitcher threw the ball back or changed the ball. He said something it was like 2 years before somebody had just changed the ball because he took such great pride in rubbing it up and taking the slickness off of it.
I'm surprised they ever talked to me. They didn't feel right.
Yeah, you were just buying time for another pitch. It had nothing to do with the baseball.
I was in a stall mode.
With your prevent offense.
Yeah, exactly.
3-2 delivery, and Wieters is on. So leadoff walk in the fourth inning for the Orioles. Porcello surrenders his first free pass. Get live Orioles breaking news coverage. Text Orioles to 29292. Message and data rates may apply. Wieters on. Orioles have had the leadoff man on 2 out of the 4 against Rick Porcello. Now Jones coming up, flied out to right field, his first time up.
Well, if you're rooting for the O's, you hope that Porcello, that being his first walk, is going to do him in. It's the last thing you want to do.
That one's going to go to short. Peralta, Rhymes, double play.
Well, there's that sinker. That was one of our keys to the game. That sinking feeling. He can throw some ground balls. And again, can you get a good hitter, Adam Jones at 284 last year, to put the ball on play on your terms early in the count? And that's exactly what Porcello gets him to do. Turns him into 2.
So the big double play, 2 down, nobody on for Reynolds. So Mark can try and wail away here. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. And Reynolds with a big cut and pitch down and away. Strike 1 to him. Another good low-scoring ball game, as the first 3 were against Tampa Bay. Each team a run on 4 hits. Not going to chase that one outside. 1-1 on the slider. Sellout crowd, of course, on hand for this opening day here at Camden Yards. Orioles 37-20 in home openers. A towering fly ball. The wind is blowing it back. Jackson's underneath it, and he's got it. So Porcello retires the side despite the leadoff walk. Faced only 3, and it remains 1-1. new offerings. The new relationship with Delaware North Sports Service. There's now Oh What a Dog, Das Sausage House, By the Slice Pizza, the Baltimore Chop House, and the Camden Yards Crab Cake. And there are many more. So when you get to the yard, take a look around at what's available for the old appetite. There's lots of it. Great food here at the ballpark.
Scrumptious looking.
Looking at me? Here's Austin Jackson.
I was talking about the food.
Thank God. Jackson has started out 3 for 13. 1-0 delivery to him, and that'll be a strike call from Arrieta. Pitching dominated games for the Orioles continue. 5th inning in this one. Jackson a single, and he is struck out. Couple of hits and 8 at bats off Arrieta. Inside out, right side, Roberts. And he's got him. Oh, Jackson retired, went away. Time for the age-old question. Can Mike Flanagan get some help from Palmer and answer this question? Our AT&T Mobility Trivia question. 2001, the last time the O's had 3 quality starts to begin the year. Who were the pitchers?
2001. Well, Messina. No, with Messina.
Will Rhymes up. Mike's left. Mike, hello. Hello, Mike. Weren't you the GM then?
No, I was not.
Oh, thank you so much.
No.
Here's the 0-1 pitch.
I was trying to think where I was. I think I was up in the. I was up in the booth. I think.
First things.
I was just trying to remember.
Okay.
Our next trivia question: who is the GM?
And what is his name?
Here's the 1-1 delivery, and it's outside to Nwandu Rhymes. The answer coming to your neighborhood soon. 1 hit, 8 at bats for Rhymes on the year.
It may not even have been Messina.
That's
was
right.
He playing for the Yankees then? Probably was.
Base hit in the 3rd inning. He's been on twice with a single and a walk, and he's taking Arrieta here. And the count goes to 2-2.
Okay, I got to come up with other guys. Ponson. And
the silence is loud.
Deafening. Yes.
And Ryan was called out on strikes. There are 2 down. That being enough suspense, we now turn to the answer. 2001, O's 3 quality starts to begin the year. They were
Henkin, Ponzone.
So I got one of them.
Jason
but
Johnson.
then you take away Messina, but I kind of backtracked on that because I think he was a Yankee then.
I think it was good that you just came up with 2 pitchers, period.
Well, that's what I'm taking credit for. Pat Henkin, former Cy Young Award winner. A right-handed pitcher.
A right-handed pitcher, no less.
Agley Ordonez, and that will be in foul territory. 2 down, nobody on here in the 5th. Ordonez has grounded out twice. Over Jake Arrieta, he is settled in. This tight ball game. Pitch count may be up a little bit at 74, but he's held them to a run on 4 hits, and same true on the other side for Rick Porcello. 1-1 delivery.
Yeah, I think the type of pitcher he is at this point in his career, 15, 16 pitches an inning, is certainly well within hand. And so if he can get out of this inning, because he still has to do that, Cabrera waiting on deck.
Racing
pretty good,
yeah. Keep him waiting on deck. You don't want runners on if you can help it. And you get Cabrera up for it. Ordonez, the 1-2 delivery to him, and that will just miss away.
Yeah, I was looking at Cabrera's numbers. I mean, again, it's only over 3 games, but he was 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Both of the home runs that Cabrera hit yesterday, the runner was at first, not in scoring position.
2-2 delivery on the way to him, got jammed. Ordonez still looking for his first hit of the year, 0 for 9.
Arrieta's done a nice job of staying right in on his hands.
Yeah, you wonder if that again, the surgery on that right ankle, if that's going to affect him this year, because that's the one you push off of if you're a right-handed hitter. And again, you like what Wieters has done.
They thought Ordonez the other day on a fly ball in the outfield that he really had to let go on to track down. That may have been the time when he may have tweaked that ankle a little bit, because it was the first time he'd really had to go out and run. I mean, in strength training, he kind of held himself back a little bit, but Jimmy Leland hoping that keeping him out yesterday, rested a little bit, and he'll be ready to go.
And plus a couple of damp days, the first 2 games up in New York.
2-2. That's going to be a base hit up the middle, and the season's first hit for Ordonez. Hit number 5 for the Tigers.
So maybe if you're Miguel Cabrera, a runner is in scoring position when he's on first. That's how good a hitter he is.
Cabrera will stand in with the 2 down. The RBI leader and the all-time high batting average against the Orioles at .480 coming into this ball game is his lifetime batting average against the O's. 2 away. Yet against them last year, that .480 mark. Last season it was he, Cano, Hamilton, Sweeney, and Delman Young who did so much of the damage. Cabrera went 12 for 25 last year against the Orioles. And as we said, the overall numbers are consistent in that department as well. Lifetime. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball will miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, the sabermetricians of baseball, they had him last year best hitter in baseball, 14 for 31 on cutters. In other words, cut fastballs, 452. They keep track of everything nowadays.
And he whacks that one hard, but an atom ball, and Pierre is there. Wow. About as hard as you can hit it and end up going back to get your glove. Base runner left on. Ball game still tied.
Not recently in the past few years, obviously, but they're excited about the game. They're the longevity of one city with the game is big. I think fans they're going to show up. You put a good product on the field, they're going to start showing up. They're going to they really enjoy the game of baseball when you put a good product on the field, and I think we've done that this year. And hopefully it translate into the snowball effect for everybody.
Evan Gregg, who has picked up a save for the Orioles, one of the new O's, about coming to Baltimore to play, and certainly the start in Tampa Bay by the O's has energized this ball club, and certainly Buck Showalter behind all of that. What an ovation he got when he was introduced here in the pregame ceremonies. Visiting teams beware.
The end will be tragic. Well, when Mike Klingman of the Baltimore Sun called when Earl Weaver was announced to throw out the first pitch, he said, "Why do you think fans have this love affair with Earl Weaver?" Well, for the same reason they like Buck Showalter.
Winning.
They win.
Winning has a way of doing that, doesn't it?
It really does. And
down to first and into right field. Felix pays on with a leadoff single.
And it's interesting when you look at both of them, and I know that Buck, one of the first things he did when he became manager last August, take a look right here, just low fastball. And Felix, tell you what, hit over 300 last year, even though he was hurt most of the year with runners in scoring position. He can hit a little bit. But Buck, one of the first things he did is call her. And he understands. It's about winning. And that was the tradition Earl Weaver had here. Whether you liked him or not, he was able to get the best out of his players, and Buck so far has been able to do that.
Speed on. Porcello will step off. Avila, the catcher, second best in the league last year, throwing out 31%. PA's got outstanding speed. Hardy at the plate, struck out first time up. Will take it inside for a ball. Hardy last year against the Tigers hit .257. He had 3 doubles, a couple of triples against Tiger pitching. JJ looking down to third to John Russell to see if anything's on. Kirby has the discussion. Wayne Kirby, the first base coach, talking to PA. Brian Roberts, leadoff batters, waiting on deck. 1-0, PA goes, hit and run, and he got it down the line. Bosch coming over to get it. PA going to third. He'll be held. Going to try for second. Here's the throw. Not in time. It'll be a double for Hardy.
Yeah, hit and run and hit. Watch him start. Hanging slider. He slashes it just like he did in Tampa Bay. And then watch Bosch right here. We talked about better with the bat. Does not make an accurate throw. And J.J. Abel, as PA is going to go all the way to third to get into second base.
Again, the bottom of the order doing a lot of damage or applying a lot of pressure.
Hardy's really made an impression on this ball club early. The Orioles with 2 in scoring position, nobody out.
Well, the thing I like about him at shortstop, he looks to be, I didn't get to see him play that much because he was hurt last year in Minnesota. He's a pretty good defensive shortstop.
Brian Roberts try and give the Orioles the lead back. He has slid out to left field twice. Has hit successfully in the first 3 ball games of the season.
Yeah, Vila out to Alex out to calm down the youngster. Porcello's pitch to J.J. Hardy, Mike, was probably the right pitch, just didn't locate it well.
Yeah, just didn't get far enough, obviously, away.
The Orioles still have not trailed in the 4th game played, as they had the 1-0 lead early in this ball game. Porcello's given up 6 hits to the O's. Roberts will foul it off. Mike was talking about the bottom of the order coming into this game. The Orioles 7, 8, and 9 hitters combined for 7 hits, 4 doubles, 4 RBIs, and 7 runs.
Look at that position last year. 7th place hitters hit .240, 8th place hit .220, and 9th place hit .223.
And now they're on again. PA and Hardy, number 8 and 9. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Roberts, slow roller. That's going to go foul. The other thing, and another part of the game the Orioles have done a good job at, is getting that extra base. I mean, you saw Hardy going down. I mean, that would have been a very close play if the throw had been right, but he knew he didn't have a good left fielder arm. You saw the other day Wieters on a tag up going over. Again, we saw it in this game, Wieters tagging up and going over. The Orioles are very apt to take a risk, and so far in the 4 games on the base pass, it's paid off.
But they're calculated risk because of your scouting reports, and again, it's part of the preparation process. Does your manager make everybody aware of what the other opposition can do?
Roberts, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Full house crowd cheering for him. And Roberts lifts it in the air. That's going to get at least 1 in. The wind blowing it back at the wall. And goodbye, home run! A 3 RBI homer for Brian Roberts.
Look at this 1-2 pitch, low middle of the plate. And the flags have been blowing out off and on to dead center field. This ball just kept carrying and out of the reach of Jackson.
Yeah, situational hitting, trying to get a ball in the air to get the runner in. Ends up being a 3-run home run.
Boy, what a start for Brian. Second home run and 8 RBIs. He's got both of the Orioles dingers. Among the things you would not have expected for the Orioles, that's one of them, that Orioles home runs, the first two would be hit by Brian Roberts. Nick Markakis will take it. It's up high, 2-0. Nick has already had 2 singles in this ball game. Last year, that .350 average and 2 homers against the Tigers, and now has a 10-game hit streak against Detroit. Porcello, after the homer, misses 3-0.
They have been unable to record an out here in the 5th.
Porcello gave up 18 home runs in 162 innings last year. Now they're going to try and settle it down a little bit. Rick Knapp, the pitching coach.
Yeah, tremendous experience at the minor league level for Rick Knapp. So a lot of young pitchers. He's their pitching coach. Saying it was only a fly ball. It just cost you 3 runs and you trail by 3. You got to throw strikes.
Brian Roberts now leads the majors in RBIs. 8. Good reason to smile. Orioles have the 4-1 lead. That's been the magic number, hasn't it? 4-1. And that one's ripped into the corner. Markakis, green light, 3-0. Nick's going to make the turn. Ordonez not in time. A 2-bagger. 3 for 3.
They love sitting against this Tiger pitching staff. 3 for 3 on the afternoon. Up middle of the plate. Green lighted 3-0. And he turns on doing what you're supposed to do when you hit 3-0. So top of this order really throughout the young season, Roberts and Markakis have really done a lot of damage.
Nick, who's always up there among the leaders in doubles in the league, gets number 1 on the year. And his 3rd hit of the ball game. There's still nobody out. Here's Derek Lee. Lee going after it. He is singled and flied out. PA the single to lead it off. Hardy got the double. Roberts brought everybody home with the 3 RBI shot. And now Markakis on at second. 4 runs, 8 hits for the O's. Bullpen action for the Tigers. Lee wanted to go downtown. 0-2. Villarreal in the bullpen. Porcello after the homer now trying to find a way to get himself settled back in. Center fielder Jackson, with that wind blowing out to right now, takes about 5 steps towards right field. And that pitch will be inside. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Derek Lee. Markakis edging off second, being held by Rhymes. Lee, that's going to be just foul. He got out in front of it a little bit.
Well, young or old, Rick Porcello is finding out if you don't make good pitches, major league hitters are going to hit them hard.
The Orioles are doing that right now. Lee's really trying to rip into one. He's taking some big cuts. Here's the 1-2 delivery to him. Lays off the pitch that's up high. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Derek, with all the National League games that he played, has not had a lot of games against the Tigers. Only 6. Never had a home run against them. Markakis watching the second baseman. 2-2 delivery. Inside. 3-2. That home run looked like it really got to Porcello. Kind of slinging the baseball a little bit now. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and Lee will go down as a high fastball he couldn't get. Porcello gets his 3rd strikeout, first out of the inning.
Yeah, one of those 3-2 high fastball. Looks like borderline high. I think one of the cases that Derek Lee was seeing the ball so well, just didn't want to lay off.
Now Vladimir Guerrero. Vladdy has popped out and flied out. 1 hit, 7 at bats, lifetime off Porcello. Vladdy with that big cut just got one that was almost on the plate. 1 strikeout on Guerrero. Big inning for the Orioles. Would have been a tie ball game. Now a 4-1 lead. Markakis off second base. And Guerrero another one. Ripped back 0-2. Porcello's up to 73 pitches thrown in the ballgame. Has been pretty efficient actually until this inning. 2 strike count. Block made. Runner stays at second base.
He had a 4-hitter coming into the inning. It was a single, a couple doubles, and a homer this inning alone.
Well, again, it's exactly the same scenario that happened down in Tampa Bay, where you just hang around and then all of a sudden hitters make some adjustments second, third time through the orders for the Orioles, and they've been able to put runs on the board.
1-2 delivery, and he'll go down swinging. That's 4 strikeouts for Porcello. A couple of big ones here in the 5th inning. So Matt Wieters will be looking for the 2-out RBIs. Today he's picked up the double that came in the 2nd inning, and he would score on a wild pitch. Set himself up by getting over to third base on a fly ball out.
I think he's really responded to moving up in the order. He was in the A spot the first couple of games, and now it's hitting behind Guerrero in the 5th slot. He's had a very productive afternoon today. So again, with the added catching responsibility. Hit 5th in yesterday's game. Had, what, a couple of singles and scored a couple of runs.
And of course the Orioles, in drafting Wieters, fully hoped he would be a hitter who would be up in the lineup and would be providing some power. Wieters asked for the timeout.
I know Buck was talking about making it a visual presence. I think when you look at the lineup and you see, Guerrero, who's 6'3" and whatever he weighs, and Derek Lee, who's 6'6", 240.
In the air, not deep. And that's going to fall in for a base hit and an RBI. Markakis will score as Bosch and Jackson in left and center, neither got a very good break on that. Wieters has got an RBI.
Yeah, I think what happened, Gary, is that because of the wind-blown home run by Bryan, they're playing a little deeper. It's just a kind of a big swing, but again, we saw Adam Jones get fooled right there. Bosch, again, not a great defensive player. Jackson way out in center field, had no chance of catching that ball. Another extra run.
Wieters delivers, and that'll be RBI number 2 on the season for the Oriole catcher, and it's now a 5-1 lead. Shadows obviously coming into play, as you saw. Home plate is now in the shadows. Pitchers in the sun. Jones has fly down and hit into a double play and takes the pitch for a strike. So the Orioles, a big 5th inning. It looked like after that homer, Porcello was going to have an opportunity to get out of the jam with a couple of strikeouts. Not so. 0-1 delivery on the way, swing and a miss. Breaking ball and an 0-2 count on Adam Jones. Brian Roberts, the 3 RBI homer, the big blow in the inning. And again, as Mike mentioned, the bottom of the order, kicking it off with PA and Hardy in the 8 and 9 spots, getting on base. Here's the 2 strike. Went a little further outside, not going to get him to bite on that though. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Wieters on at first with a measured lead. And the 1-2 delivery. Adam on the inside out, right field. Again, that wind will carry a bit. Ordonez is there to put it away. But the Orioles send 8 to the plate in the 5th inning. They score 4 runs, 3 of them on 1 swing of the bat by Brian Roberts, and they've got a 5-1 lead. 2 of this 3-game set on Wednesday. Guthrie scheduled to start. Not sure if he will at this moment. Justin Verlander on the other side for the Tigers. Coverage on MASN 2 HD begins at 6:30 with those extra. Presented by Verizon Wireless, followed by game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN. Jeremy Guthrie with a viral infection that took him to the hospital just for precautionary reasons. And that, of course, puts that start on Wednesday in jeopardy. Jake Arrieta looking for the win following the other starters so far this year. Pretty good line.
Well, he's pitched out of trouble. He's gotten some huge outs when he needed them. And now they got him a 4-run lead.
Victor Martinez has flied out twice in the ball game. The designated hitter, then Bosch and Peralta. And the pitch is away for a ball. Sellout opening day, 46,593, 46,593. And they've had a lot to cheer about. 1-0 delivery. PA was playing the other way. Long run and makes a nice catch in fair territory.
That shows you how much ground that Felix PA can cover. He really has been playing out towards left center field most of the afternoon. You can see where he has to come from. Long run, and the ball starts carrying, and the flag's kind of blowing out to center and out to right.
Yeah, off the bat, it looked like it's going to be a foul ball. I always thought that, great natural ability, maybe instinctively, not where you want him. That's not the case there. I mean, he never assumed that ball was going to be in foul territory.
And by the way, even though that looked foul on the replay, Jim Wolf, the third base umpire, signaled that was a fair ball. So he thought that was in play had it landed. So that's a big play by PA.
I think that's the thing, that the flags have been blowing really from left towards left center and to right, and that will bring that ball back towards PA or towards the line.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Brendan Bosch making the start in left field. He is flied out and grounded out, and Bosch will take the pitch up high for a ball. Bosch, another one of the great rookies last year. He and Jackson combined to put up tremendous rookie numbers. He led all rookies with 14 home runs, 67 RBIs. Unfortunately for Bosch, most of that came in the first half of the year. And then things kind of fell apart on him, and he came into camp having to earn a job.
He had almost hit 180 points lower in the second half. All-star 342 all the way down to 162.
3 ball, 1 strike count on him. He started out hot, 5 for 10. Arrieta gets the strike into him. That'll take it full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Bosch with Peralta waiting on deck. Right-hander's full count pitch. That one is going to be down the line, and that is going to fall in for a base hit. Bosch is on his way to second. PA chasing it down. It will be a double with 1 away here in the 6th inning. The Junior Orioles Dugout Club, Birdland's best value in family entertainment. Kids 14 and under, tickets to 10 games. The exclusive club hat, membership card, and more, only $20. And there are exclusive giveaways at each game. Family and friends tickets start as low as $6. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. So Bosch is on. Hit number 6 for the Tigers. Peralta's had one of them. He's got a double. Arrieta with 1 away.
You have to start thinking that shadow's not going to play into this a little bit. It always seems to play into it in April and September or October, that shadow creeping out. So you can see how bright the uniform is Jake Arrieta is.
0-1 delivery on the way to him. Breaking ball off speed. And the count goes to 0-2.
Well, there were a number of years where they actually start all the Saturday games just about this time, 4:35. Pitching coaches loved it. Hitting instructors, almost suicide watch for them.
In the 0-2 delivery, and he reached. Coming into today's play, there are only 4 unbeaten teams with the Reds, the Phillies, Texas, of course, that swept Boston, and the Orioles. Jimmy Leland's ball club 1-2. Sparky Anderson tag you see on the uniform being worn by the Detroit Tigers. Another great loss for baseball. 0-2 delivery off the end of the bat, fouled again. It'll stay at 2 strikes on Peralta. Ricardo in the bullpen, first action out there for the Orioles. Day off tomorrow. Games Wednesday and Thursday night. 7:05 first pitch. Verlander and Brad Penny to go. Guthrie scheduled to go on Wednesday. Chris Tillman on Thursday. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Had him fooled on it. Did he go? They check at first base, and the answer is no. Jim Joyce.
Awfully good curveball, and again another very nice block by Matt Wieters. Because if he doesn't block that ball, they're going to play the infield back with a 5-1 lead, and that could be a very, very cheap run for the Tigers. So it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but could save you a run.
Bosch off second base. 2-ball, 2-strike count now on Johnny Peralta. Arrieta's getting close to the end. 95 pitches have been thrown. Wanting to get through 6. 2-2 delivery. Gets the ground ball to third. Reynolds holds the runner. Gets the out. Now 2 down, and the Tigers do not get that runner moved up. Alex Avila lined out, and he has drawn a walk. Avila will be looking for the 2-out RBI. He's got 1 run batted in on the season. 0 for 1 and a walk in this game. Tigers, like the Orioles, struggled on the road last year. In fact, each of the teams had only 29 wins away. Tigers are able to do better at home, the exact opposite, 52 and 29. Orioles, that's why those wins on the road, I mean, they're meaningful at the start of the season for one thing, meaningful for the way the team played, and meaningful because they were on the road. So that's one of the areas the Orioles have got to pick their numbers up if they're going to move up in that win column. 2-0 count. Bosch continues to edge off second base. That wind continues to blow out left to right. And that'll be played by Lee. And again, Jake Arrieta could have been a problem inning, but he finds a way out of it, stranding a runner at second base. The Orioles up 5-1. Dedicated to you, the fan, the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. Weeknights 5:30, 6:30 brings you the latest news, Orioles, Nationals, and all around MLB. Live batting practice look-ins, reports from the field, roundtable discussions. You can join Tom Davis, Phil Wood, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin as they discuss the hottest topic in sports and give you maximum access. Monday to Friday, 5:30 right here on Masson, and they'll be looking tonight back at what happened in the game. They'll take a look back on Wednesday at the Orioles opener. Amber Theo Harris is going to stop by to share Nick Markakis' takes on the start the Orioles are having. That'll all be coming up in the show on Wednesday, the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. So Arrieta out of the ball game. Mark Connor, the pitching coach, talking with him. The Orioles will go to the bullpen. He'll leave with a 5-1 lead, and the Tigers are going to go to the bullpen as well.
Yeah, they're bringing in their youngster. He worked an inning against the Yankees. First time Brian Villarreal has made an opening day roster, really making the jump. Last year he was a starter, pitched in Single-A Lakeland and Double-A Erie, and was second among all Tiger minor leaguers with strikeouts. So he went to winter ball, had a terrific year in winter ball, went 5-0 with a 2.32 ERA, and really made the club out of spring training as sort of their long right-hander. So a pretty good arm, just 23 years old.
Yeah, they were all Phil Koch, one of their bullpenners now, but will be their fifth starter, said, yeah, if you ought to have seen him, first pitch he threw, A-Rod hit into the center field bleachers. Welcome to the big leagues. But he is a hard thrower, throws in the mid-90s. And a nice little arm angle if you're right-handed, tough to pick up. 96.
The only batter who did not come to the plate in the fifth inning for the Orioles, Mark Reynolds, leads it off here. And on a check swing, went around on it. He has struck out, flied out to center field. The Orioles get to Rick Porcello, the starter, 5 runs, 9 hits over 5, with a walk and 4 strikeouts in his debut for the year. Swung out and missed again on a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, his slider is almost 90 miles per hour at 89. And again, as you mentioned, Mike, you're trying to pick up the ball, hard to pick up out of the sun into the shadows.
And that will just miss outside. I thought he might have had that one and did not get the call.
Well, maybe Darrell Cousins is having trouble picking it up too.
What's the call? Oh, sorry. Got an idiot on the field here, so that's going to delay the game. Orioles continue to try and set some marks here with the opening this season. They swept that 3-game road series. And as most fans now know, the last time Orioles did that on the road to start a season, 1970. Orioles also have been able to limit the opposition to very few runs here in the first 3 games. The record for the Orioles in the first 4 games of the season in runs surrendered is 6. And they're trying to maybe best that mark here today, and certainly Arrieta hasn't hurt the cause of the start that he has made.
Yeah, it seems like the standard line scorers just somehow give up 1 run along the way if you're an Orioles starting pitcher, which is certainly a great formula for long-term success of the season.
Zach Britton a run on 3 hits in 6 innings. Tillman gave up no runs on no hits in 6 innings. Guthrie gave up no runs on 3 hits in 8 innings. And the Orioles starters
it just keeps going along.
Really, some unbelievable numbers.
I'm just looking at Chris Tillman. You know, the hitters are 0 for 18 against Chris Tillman. The numbers with Guthrie, 3 for 26 against Guthrie is the batting average, and against Zach Britton, 3 for 20. So that's a pretty good formula for success.
And 2 weeks ago, Flanny, wouldn't you have said in spring training, well, maybe you're a little worried about the starters because they haven't been getting innings. Bergeson hit with a line drive. Same with Mattis. Guthrie, gave up 12 hits against Toronto, and then everything changed when the season started. But it's a continuation of really what happened over the last 2 months, where the Orioles team ERA went from about 5 runs a game to about 3.5. And then you get a youngster like Zach Britton who comes up and again got hit around early yesterday and wasn't afraid to throw it over. He used his changeup, and all of a sudden he got himself into the late innings.
So with an escort, the uninvited leaves. And Mark Reynolds will stand back in. 2-ball, 2-strike count on him. Reynolds leading it off here in the bottom half of the 6th inning for the Orioles. Brian Villarreal ready to go, and the 2-2 delivery, and that'll be taken down low. So the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Orioles got Wieters leading off and on in the 2nd inning. He would score. Orioles got the leadoff man on in the 5th inning, PA, and they got a big inning put together. Now trying to get another leadoff man on, take advantage of it. The Orioles came into this ball game hitting 8 for 19 with runners in scoring position. So when given an opportunity, even though the Orioles hadn't scored a lot of runs in those games at Tampa Bay, with a .222 batting average in the 3 games, they still were able to get the key hits. 3-2 delivery. That one in the air to right. Ordonez trying to get it lined up with the sun, and does. Reynolds is retired. Felix Pierre getting the start in left field with Luke Scott out, and a big part of the game has been the defense he's played. He's had to run a long way towards the line because he's been shaded the other way most of the game. But he's gotten over there and he's made the plays.
Yeah, he certainly has responded, and he's done pretty well swinging the bat too. Gives him some quality at bats.
Yeah, started that 4-run 5th inning with a leadoff single. So
already has an outfield assist to the plate.
And he'll foul that back into the screen. Hardy waiting on deck, bottom 3rd of the order in the inning for the O's. 5-9-0 for the Orioles, 1-6-0 for the Tigers. Tigers have stranded 7. Orioles have left 4 on base. Arrieta worked his way out of jams through the 6 innings that he was in. PA, some pretty good rips.
Real good rips. And the plus, and Buck Showell will be the first guy to tell you as the Orioles manager, is that he can play center field. So he's a perfect 4th outfielder for you. He can do a lot of things.
0-2 delivery on the way to him, and swung on a miss, throttled back on that pitch. Villarreal gets the strikeout, 2 down.
Well, they were talking about they need a 7th inning guy. Maybe Flanny, you said this guy last year, a starter at A-ball and Double-A with that stuff.
Yeah, he hides the ball extremely well, and everything's late.
And down in the zone.
He was 2nd in the Tiger organization in strikeouts in the minor league last year, putting up 136 Ks combined.
Well, he reminds you a little bit, a smaller version of Brandon League, who came up with Toronto.
Little tapping. Hardy will be retired. So Villarreal comes on in a 1-2-3 inning. We completed 6 here at Camden Yards on opening day. The Orioles looking to go 4-0. Man who grew up to be a major league pitcher, getting the opening start for the Orioles at home, and through 6 gave up just the 1 run on 6 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He's out of the ball game, but he's got a chance to be the winner.
Well,
go ahead.
No, just going to say what he did so well was really holding the middle of that order, Ordonez, Cabrera, and Victor Martinez to a 1 for 9.
Yeah, some key outs with Cabrera back in the 3rd. Then when they did get the couple of hits, and he was able to made a good pitch to Inge in the 4th to get out of trouble, the only inning, and Jason Birkin will come on. Boy, what a crisp inning he had down in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Buck was talking about it. He said, sometimes you mix in a fastball to start off your beginning of the season. No, straight sliders. Really did a terrific job, and I think Jason Birkin certainly is one of those pitchers you really root for on this staff. He was a workhorse out of that bullpen the first 3 quarters of last season, and then he fell to some injury, but he's back and appears to be healthy, and he'll be a welcome addition to the pen.
Yeah, Richie Banzel's the Orioles head trainer, said that you could tell when he came into spring training. He lost about 20, 25 pounds. He said you could look at his shoulders and see that he really worked to get that labrum back to where he could pitch at this level again, because he was really good the first half of last year.
Brandon Inge will lead it off here in the 7th inning against Birkin. Inge, a couple of hits in 3 at-bats off the Orioles reliever. He has doubled, scored, grounded out in this ball game. The Orioles got on the board in the 2nd inning, got the lead. A wild pitch scored Wieters, and then a big 4-run, 5-hit 5th inning. Roberts a 3 RBI homer in that, and an RBI single by Wieters. Towering pop-up, shallow left. Piet's coming, and he's got it. And Inge is retired. This season, go behind the scenes with the O's with the Birdland Social Media Clubhouse. Visit Orioles.com/connect to find out how you can become a Facebook fan of the Orioles or a Twitter follower of Birdland Insider. You'll receive the latest Orioles news. You'll connect with the players and be among the first to hear the breaking news straight from the team. That's Orioles.com/connect. Top of the order, Austin Jackson. He is single, popped out, and struck out. Orioles with a 5-1 lead. And the pitch is up high. Marietta will be watching the bullpen, just as Zach Britton did after his outing. See if they can hang on to a 4-run lead and give him a victory to start the season. Jackson will be followed by Rhymes. 2-ball, 1-strike delivery.
Oh, what a pitch. You can't see. It's twilight. He's looking fastball, and then you drop off. Not only do you throw him a breaking ball, look at the quality of this pitch. Oh, what a curveball. It's not that Jackson, the category to tell you, he's got a little bit of pop. Doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but hit one up in Yankee Stadium off of A.J. Burnett. And then he just throws him away. Yeah.
Came back with a heater right there to get him, and he couldn't catch up with it.
A little bit more of a cushion this time for Jason Birkin coming in.
Well, just imagine trying to hit. If he throws you a 2-1 curveball, that just sets up the rest of the at-bat.
Plants the seed of doubt of what is coming.
Doesn't he look so confident out there, though? I thought that the other day when he came out on the mound. He just looked so confident.
Well, this is a kid that went 6-12 and was a starting pitcher and learned through adversity to be better. And he's the first guy to tell you that. He realized that first year, of course, not playing for a team that was going to be over 500, that when he made good pitches, quality pitches, he got people out. And when he didn't, he got knocked around. So he learned from that. And, maybe this is his niche, even though he does kind of have starter stuff. 3-4 pitches that he can get over and good enough stuff.
Well, he's almost down to a one-pitch pitcher, though, in the bullpen. That slider's at times unhittable. But you're right, he does have a changeup and obviously a fastball. But the slider is the pitch that he can go to and count on. If he executes, it's really not going to hit it if you're not going to hit it hard.
I think that's the big change, Mike, that we saw last year when he hurt his labrum, which is kind of the tissue that keeps your shoulder in place. That's where he lost velocity. He couldn't throw that slider like he wanted to.
Back into the screen. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Bill Rhymes, an RBI single, 3rd inning. And that's the lone Tiger run. He has also struck out and picked up a walk in the ball game.
Little pesky guy. He works the count well.
2-ball, 2-strike count on him. 1 hit, 9 at bats so far in the year, and he'll foul that one back.
And I don't mean that, in any derogatory way. I mean, he's a line drive hitter with speed. He did get called out on another pitch, maybe a Yankee strike the last time out, so he wasn't happy about that. But I think he understands what he needs to do to play at this level. Had a very nice year last year when he did play in the big leagues, hitting over 300, limited at bats.
And we'll take the pitch down low. So a full count on him, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down, nobody on, 7th inning. Rhymes trying to get on here and give the Tigers the chance. They bid out hit 9-6 for the O's towards the middle, and he does. So Rhymes is on with a base hit in the 7th, and we'll get to the middle of the order to Ordonez. Rhymes second into the ball game, 2 for 3 on the day.
Yeah, walking a stolen base to go along with it, so he's done his job getting on base.
Magley Ordonez 1 for 3, a single, grounded out, quick toss, almost caught him. Rhymes is kind of froze in place over there on Birkin's throw.
Well, take a look. The first baseman, I remember when Rafael Palmeiro would always say one of the toughest positions to play, right field, first base, or a base runner at this time of day. You're looking right into the sun.
You didn't see that move.
No, I don't think so.
The reaction.
Well, Jason is the thin man this year.
Ooh,
much more agile.
The thin man. You didn't say that about me. Never mind. Hold it right there.
Yes, the silence is deafening. Once again.
That's all you need to know.
In the air to right. And I cut down on pizza, too. Marquez will put that one away. Ordonez is retired. We're going to hear from Nick when we come back. It's 7th inning stretch time. Camden Yards, O's up by 4.
He had a plan. He wanted to execute it, and I think he got it done. I think for the most part he got what he wanted, and it's up to us now. It's up to us to go out there and play. He can only do so much, and I think from a player standpoint we all understand that. Coaching staff, everybody understands that. It's important to get off to a good start, and what a better way to go out and start on the road 3 games and come home to this place.
We want to remind you of the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report coming your way. Masson HD, 5:30 to 6:30 Monday through Friday. You get the live batting practice look-ins, reports from the field, and roundtable discussions. All right here on Masson HD. Including a little insight on how this season has started from Dick Markakis.
Take a look at our Geico highlights. The Orioles on the wild pitch will make it 1-0. Take a 1-0 lead right here. Rhymes having a good afternoon. Singles to left, tie it up, and then Brian Roberts. Big hits down to Tampa, 3-run home run, and then Matt Wieters. Like this right here. Finds a hole out in left center field, drops it in to make it 5-1. Orioles leading after 7.
Take a look at the game summary. Jake Arrieta, another outstanding starting performance from an Orioles starter. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, a couple of walks, and 3 strikeouts. And Brian Roberts must love having Earl Weaver in the ballpark. A 3-run home run, second of the year for Brian. And also Matt Wieters had a big afternoon, not only catching well, but have been on base all 3 times. A double, scored a run, a walk, and a single, and an RBI. So he's filled all the columns this afternoon.
And the fans up and letting it rip here on 7th inning stretch time on this beautiful day at Camden Yards. Couldn't be a better weather day for the opener. And the 46,593 have seen the Orioles at least put themselves in a real strong position to pick up their 4th win of the season. The Orioles, we were talking about the last time they started the year 3-0 was back in '97. Same is true in the 4-0 start to the beginning of the year. Villarreal was out of the bullpen work the last inning. Retired the Orioles 1-2-3. The O's will get the top of the order. Brian Roberts had another big game, 4-game hit streak. Flied to left a couple of times, but then in the 5th inning, after PA and Hardy got on, he delivered the home run. His 2nd of the season, and good for 3 more RBIs, and to take the Oriole in the major league lead, and runs batted in with 8.
Yeah, so the Orioles have scored, 20 runs on the season, and Brian's driven in 8 of them.
And back to spring training when there were times it was questionable whether or not he would be starting the season on the roster.
Yep, 2.5 weeks ago, that in doubt. Neck problems. It started, I guess February, and then some unrelated back problems to what he had last year. Got him out of the lineup. He does make this offense go. Yeah, I mean, he really. Just think if you're on deck, Nick Markakis saying, please be healthy all year long, Brian. Got that guy's hitting behind me now.
RBI's in front of me.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Brian 5 for 16 to start the year with the 8 RBIs. Hasn't walked, hasn't struck out. Everything in play. Had been. A couple of strikeouts rather for Villarreal. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Day where the temperature in the sun was up to 80 or better. And wind continues to blow out to right for the lefties if they get it up in the air. It has carried today. Markakis going for a 4 for 4. He's had 2 singles, a double. He has scored a run in the ball game. And Nick has a good pick made by Inge, who throws it long on the bag. Cabrera able to hold the bag with his toe to get the out.
Yeah, Inge, we talked about how good a fielder he is. We talk about percentage baseball, play way off the line, able to get to it. Not a great throw, and I am not sure he stayed on there. Might have.
The whole section of fans right behind Cabrera don't think so.
Nope. Trying to stay on the bag as long as he can. Well, maybe he did.
I guess Jim Joyce's first base umpire probably feeling a little bit spooky every time he sees the Tigers anyway.
Yeah.
Does he ever?
The almost perfect game. Derek Lee up, takes it away. A 1-0 count, 2 down, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th, Lee with a single, 1 for 3. Villarreal will miss down low with that.
Yeah, Galarraga is going to be one of the starters for the Diamondbacks. The 5th starter. Learned that at spring training after being traded by the Tigers.
Big cut by Lee. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Derek.
100. That's a nice round number. 1-0-0.
See why he made the team.
Well, and he throws strikes.
Yes.
And it's hard to see now, but it's hard to see 100 even when it's perfect conditions. I mean, he's got a very deceptive angle and release.
Lee gets the count to 3-1. And Derek chasing one probably up high, maybe even inside, not connecting with it. The 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, changing speeds, that one only 96.
The changeup.
Yeah, take it a little off.
Adding, subtracting.
3-2 the count. And Lee will take it inside. Only the second walk the Orioles have picked up in the ball game. This one comes with 2 down in the 7th inning, and will give Guerrero a shot. Vladimir Guerrero's gone 0 for 3 in the ball game. Popped out, flied out, struck out. It's the first time in Vladimir Guerrero's career that he has gone through the first 3 games without picking up an RBI. Here's a chance to undo that in game 4. And Vladdy takes the pitch for a strike. Guerrero kind of backing away on that one. Shadows now cover the infield grass. He'll miss that one away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Guerrero.
Well, this is really what coming to the big leagues is all about if you're a Villa Royale, because, I mean, you know about Guerrero. You're from Venezuela, but you know how great a hitter he is. 436 home runs. You get to face him.
Here goes the runner. Throw down, and not in time. It'll be a stolen base for Lee. A swinging strike called on Guerrero.
That sets up that RBI situation. He doesn't pay attention. He's off.
Yeah, Billy Real clearly paying attention to the hitter Guerrero.
Derek Lee, I don't think they expected him to be running on that. Nobody. Leland on the phone to the bullpen.
Well, it's just another example of that man's awareness. They're going to give you a chance to put another guy into scoring position.
He's going to take it.
Yes, and he did.
So Lee now on with a 1 ball, 2 strike count on Vladimir Guerrero. And Vladdy will foul it back. Derek Lee last year had 1 stolen base. It came with Chicago. He did not pick up any in the 39 games he played with for Atlanta. He had 1 stolen base in 2009. That's why it's
so he's filled the column.
Filled
the column early. Get it out of the way.
Yeah, he can relax. Stay the rest of the summer.
Fill the column.
They'll have to run again. 1-2 delivery, and there's a big pop-up. Third base. And Inge will put it away. No runs, no hits, no errors. Had a base runner left on. 7 complete in the opener with the Orioles leading the Tigers. And by Sonic, America's drive-in. It's new, it's better, it's the new Sonic Good. Eighth inning coming up with Jim Palmer, Mike Flanagan. I'm Gary Thorne. Great to have you with us for the opening day and here at home for the Orioles. Orioles leading 5-1 in the eighth. Jason Birkin on in relief last inning, gave up just one single. Miguel Cabrera will face him here, fouls it away. Cabrera's flied out twice and has struck out. Ordonez has had a single, 1 for 4. Cabrera's gone 0 for 3. Victor Martinez 0 for 3. The 0-1 is on the outside corner. Bounces one in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Cabrera. Wind blowing out to left field now. Is 180 degrees the other way. Pitch is going to be high. It's just swirling around here. We started the ball game with very little wind, and then it picked up almost at first pitch.
Yeah, then you have the warehouse effect. Can't always tell unless you're down at home plate how it is truly blowing.
3-2. That one is inside. Everybody wondering what the count is here.
It was 2-2. Now it's 3-2.
Now it's 3-2. Birkin ready on it. There's the 3-2 pitch, and that will be fouled away.
Yeah, you very rarely see Miguel Cabrera give away bats. I mean, that's how good a hitter he is, and you can really tell. I mean, the quality hitters, kind of like a world war.
38 home runs, 126 RBIs last year to go along with that .328 batting average for the Tigers. 3-2 hit hard. Reynolds on the short hop. Got him. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. And your choices: Brian Roberts, he's had the big 3 RBI homer in the game. Arrieta working the 6 innings, 1 run on 6 hits. And Nick Markakis, he's had a 3-hit ball game, a run scored. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, to 51862.
How good a play was that by Mark Reynolds?
Saves a leadoff base hit.
Yep, it really is.
1 down, Victor Martinez coming up. Martinez was robbed of a hit on a fine play by PA made in the 6th inning. That'll miss down low, 0 for 3. DHing and catching on the season. How much of each? Yet to be determined.
Well, you got to like this lineup. I mean, they have 3 consecutive lifetime 300 hitters with Ordonez, Cabrera, and Martinez in the middle of your lineup.
Got to figure they're going to produce some runs.
Yeah, you would think so.
A couple of years ago, they had a lineup where everybody thought they were going to score 1,000, and the whole thing fell apart on them. No injuries obviously play a huge part in that.
I guess the only question is in the American League, like the Orioles had 31 home runs from their DH last year. You throw Luke Scott in that mix and all that. So if he doesn't catch and he's their DH, he usually hits around 20. Maybe that number not as significant as you would think when you compare him to other teams.
Again, foul back. Birkin coming in on him that time.
That's why when you look at Martinez and you look at the guy doing the catching for the Orioles, Matt Wieters could arguably end up being one of the best catchers, certainly in the American League East, but in the American League this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he is going to be most likely better than Russell Martin. They're different types of catchers. Better than Salta Lamaki. If he's how long he'll catch in Boston, who knows? Going to be better than Aaron Sebia because he's got more time and more experience up in Toronto. You know, Tampa Bay's going to platoon. So
Matt certainly started it out that way. He's improved his ability to throw out base stealers by a large margin. Started last year.
But just everything. The way he receives the ball, the way he catches it, the way he releases it.
Martinez, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Very difficult batter to strike out. In fact, last year, he was 7th toughest in the American League. And he struck out once every 10.3 plate appearances. 2 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, you saw him coming years ago when we would do Cleveland Indians. He was their most valuable player in Double-A. Then he went to Triple-A, most valuable player in their minor leagues, most valuable player in the leagues he played in.
Bosch waiting on deck. 2-2 delivery. Up high, 3-2. Arrieta giving up just the 1 run on 6 hits over 6. The Orioles chased Rick Porcello, the 22-year-old, 5 runs, 9 hits over 5. Got him out of there with a 4-run, 5-hit 5th inning. And the Orioles had the 5-1 lead as they look for that 4th consecutive win to start the year. Here's the 3-2. Martinez goes down swinging.
No, long sort of protracted at bat. 3-2 pitch from Burke and reaches back, and you see actually his sort of head duck, 92 mile an hour best fastball, reaching back for a little extra, gets it by Victor Martinez.
Yeah, anybody that hurts their labrum. We talk about Tommy John. I think the success rates, Tommy John surgery, the transplant of a ligament, about over 80%. Labrums, the number comes down dramatically, a little bit over 50-50. Oh, there's a good changeup. He's got all the pitches. And what a better time to throw it. 5-1. Not seen particularly well.
Bosch has a double, 1 for 3. He is flied out and grounded out as Perkins got 2 away here in the 8th. And Bosch will take the pitch inside for a ball. Birkin, a more than 1 inning pitcher. Half of the games he was in last year, he recorded 4 or more outs coming out of the bullpen. 1-1 got him to go after one up high. 1-2. Tigers have had a runner on in every inning except the 2nd. Comma and the 8th. Struck him out. Birkin gets his 3rd K, and the Orioles pitching continues to get it done and protect a 5-1 lead. First 3, Mike, as the Orioles playing consistent games.
Yeah, it really seems to be the same formula. Outstanding defense, no errors again today. Outstanding starting pitching. I just get the feeling they're going to give up 1 run every day for the rest of the season.
Yeah, well, what a prediction.
It'd be 162 and all. Just why not?
Yeah, well, why change the script if it's working? Reversal of fortune, because for 13 years we've been talking about just the other way around, where the other team, you kind of stay even with them and then they get the big hit. August, September, so far in April, reversal of fortune.
So
far, turn the tables.
So good.
Yep. Why change anything?
Ryan Perry's going to come on to do the pitching as the Orioles up And there's the outing he had against the Yankees.
Yeah, worked a couple of 2/3 of an inning, didn't allow a hit and an earned run. His last time out up in New York. Appeared in a career high 60 games for the Tigers last year. About a pretty good ERA, 2.37 in 32 games following the All-Star break. Really cemented his position in the bullpen last year.
Yeah, a lot of hard stuff. Didn't throw it. I don't even think he threw a changeup. Mostly fastballs and sliders up in New York on Thursday. Big rangy kid.
1 strikeout on Wieters. Matt takes it to center field, hit it hard. Jackson back, and he's got it. So Wieters out of there, but he's had a double, single, and a walk in the ball game. Follow the Orioles with MLB.com and At Bat 2011 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry. Get scores, stats, highlights, live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, and more. Text At Bat to 31826 or go to Orioles.com for details. 1 down in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Jones coming up 0 for 3 in the ball game, 2 for 15 so far on the season. Perry's delivery to him fouled off. We always like to note this date in baseball history. This game's built on that. First MVP awards in 1911 were awarded on this date. The American League winner was the Detroit Tigers' Ty Cobb, and the National League winner was Frank Schultz of the Cubs. That one put up in the air, first base side and away. Eddie Murray had on this date in 1994 a mark. He played first base with the Indians, his 2,403rd game at first base. That set a major league record for games played by a first baseman on this day in 94. Eddie was with Cleveland at the time. And on this date in history, 2011, will the Orioles go 4-0?
Making more history.
More for your book. That'll skip all the way to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Jones. Orioles also trying to continue not having trailed in a ball game.
That would be another good habit. Successful season, that would be good.
Oh, how boring.
You predicting on that too?
No comebacks, no nothing. No dramatic 9th inning comebacks.
He's predicted 162 wins. Is he willing to go out and say never trail in any of them?
That's absolutely.
Absolutely.
And runs allowed, only 162 runs. It's pretty easy to figure out.
Ball game.
Let's see. I'm looking right here. The Red Sox in to finish this year.
Well, they can't score.
You're hunting.
The Red Sox, they'll be way out of it by then.
The best team ever is
they're out of it now.
That's what Dan Shaughnessy of the Globe calls them, the best team ever for the Red Sox.
Yeah. 2 down in the 8th. For every Orioles walk this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the Living Classrooms Foundation. Orioles have 6 walks on the season, $300. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Mark Reynolds. 2 down, nobody on. 0 for 3 in the ball game for Mark. Now 3 for 14 to start the season, but he's made 3 or 4 really good plays at third base. That'll come inside to him. Jackknife away on Ryan Perry, and a 2-0 count.
And it seems when he gets his hits, they're meaningful ones. No long balls yet. It's just a matter of time.
Perry working out of the stretch, 2-0 delivery, and that's going to be off the end of the bat. Another souvenir on the first base side. Koji O'Hara in the bullpen for the Orioles.
Yeah, off day tomorrow, so well, he doesn't waste any time, does he? Just comes in, strike 1, strike 2, splitter.
His arm is healthy for the year. He'll be a very important part of the bullpen. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Check swing. He went around on it. Atlanta Braves, the team many are picking to maybe make the postseason, got a 2-1 win over Milwaukee today. Cubs beat Arizona 4-1, couple of earlier afternoon games.
Yeah, the Brewers now 0-4 on this young season.
Another surprise.
Yeah.
And look, we know, obviously, a long way to go for everybody. Swung on, and Reynolds got a foul tip.
But again, how many times, I mean, Flanny, how many times did we sit on a bench in September and say, boy, remember some of those games? Because a game in April, and I'm not saying you're not trying to win them, because we know every team is trying to play their best, but a game in April is just as important as sometimes in late September or early October if the season runs into it.
Absolutely.
So if you can win them, take advantage of it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 down. And Reynolds, the ground is short. Peralta's got it and gets the out. A 1-2-3 inning. So the Orioles 3 outs away from going 4-0. We go to the 9th. It is 5-1. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Koji O'Hara coming on to try and finish this ball game up. Koji had some health problems with the arm that hurt a little bit during the season. But against the Rays, it looks like that arm is just fine.
Well, the one thing, I mean, he's a perfect guy, not a safe situation, but bring in here, hadn't walked a guy in 34 2/3 innings, 45 strikeouts since he last walked somebody. So he's a strike throwing machine. Jim Price, the longtime catcher, now broadcaster with Detroit, says, what is it with this guy? He throws 88. I said, yeah, but hitter tell you it looks a lot firmer than that, and then he's got the splitter to go with it that goes straight down when he throws it properly.
So here's the 9th. And the pitch will be taken by Johnny Peralta. Alex Avila and Inge are due up, bottom third of the order for the Tigers. They scored their run in the 3rd inning. Towering fly ball left field. PA says, I got it. 2 outs away from a 4-0 start. 97 the last time the O's started a season. 3-0. They also went 4-0. You see they finished with 98 wins. In 70 the last time the O's started a season, 3-0 on the road, with McNally, Cuellar, and Tommy Phoebus getting the wins in those. The Orioles 5-0 and finished with 108 wins that season. Well, they're going to try and go 4-0 here today and then work on number 5. Avila pops that one up. Reynolds coming into foul territory. The wind may blow it back. It does. He's got it. 2 down, 9th inning. Updating you on the AT&T Player of the Game voting so far. Brian Roberts on top with his big 3 RBI homer. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862. Results O's Extra post-game show. Jim and Rick coming up.
Yeah, a little assist from Baltimore finest, the policeman who got the stool and got out of the way so Reynolds could catch that pop-up.
Brandon Inge, Oriole fans seeing their club do what they did on the road here at home so far in this game. Arrieta with a run on 6 hits over 6, looking to be the winner. Porcello, the starter, would be the loser. Pitch is in there for a strike. One ball, one strike. Missed inside to Inge. Orioles so far continuing the one-run a ball game against them.
Well, they ought to be taken here.
3-1 delivery. Weeder's back. Just on the other side of the screen, and I mean just. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Three-two delivery up in the air to right field. Markakis going back. Let the crowd tell you. And the Orioles have started the season with 4 wins as they win the home opener in a convincing fashion, beating the Detroit Tigers by a score